Good evening from D&J Drives. Today is Sunday, the 7th of July 2024, and we're doing another drive in Trinidad, this time starting at the end of Victoria Square and turning on to Ariapita Avenue. During this drive, we will be discussing both Ariapita Avenue and Woodbrook, but we're gonna have a follow-up to this when we show Ariapita Avenue again with its nightlife. So this is 5:23 p.m. and we'll show you what it's like. This is the end of Park Street where we are, and we just began on Ariapita Avenue. So Park Street, which we've covered before, leads into Ariapita Avenue, and to the left is where the old ice factory was, and to the right the La Perouse Cemetery, for context if you're familiar with the area. So if you followed our previous drives, you would remember Colville Street, which runs to the left and right here beyond these traffic lights. Woodbrook starts with Colville Street. Anything beyond Colville Street goes into Woodbrook. But Woodbrook is split up among three roads: Wrightson Road, Ariapita Avenue, and Tragarete Road. Ariapita Avenue is in the middle. Ariapita, Ariapita, and some people just call it the Avenue. So this is in the middle of the three roads, and it's well known for its nightlife, and it's become known as the Avenue. Some people believe it's actually called the Avenue, and if you look to the left, you'll see that the sidewalks are done in the style of fancy brickwork that is meant to facilitate the liming scene. So we've just passed Colville Street. This is Gattaga Street on the right. We continue along the avenue. So properties to the left and to the right make up Woodbrook. We are at a stoplight, but this road here, a major one, is called French Street. So French Street connects from Tragarete Road down to Wrightson Road. We'll just take a pause for the red light. So we go, you can see there are some food stalls on the left. At night, all of this becomes active life. Cornelio Street is the next one as we make our way along the avenue. This area here is, sometimes you can't even drive carefully, because as we pass Fifth Street, you have so many people all around buying doubles and gyros and patties, and you can see as we pass Murray Street, all along here is a lot of festivity at night. Carlos Street, and it becomes liveliest at this point, and you can see the change in atmosphere here. You can already see cars building up. To the left, Alfredo Street we've just passed. You can see both left and right, just stalls, food, drinks. Louis Street. So we're in the middle of Woodbrook. Rosalino Street. You can see all the food court on the right there. Bacon Shark stall as we pass Alberto Street. Alberto Street and Gallus Street to the left there, right and left. More traffic lights. So notice how dead things look generally as we pass Anna Street. It's very dead. You're going to be surprised when we do the follow-up video to this, Petra Street, and you'll see how this area comes alive. You have Devatile Street, O'Connor Street. So the avenue is passing all along these streets. This is Taylor Street on the right, but there's nothing corresponding on the left. And Bell Smith Street. We pass Ishi's Learning Center on the left, and that's the end of the avenue. Where we are now, we're facing the National Stadium, and this road is called Maraval Parkway, but some people just say the road to the stadium. Here's the Crawford Stadium is to the left. We'll just head back down to show you the other side of where we just drove, from Wrightson Road on the left, Ariapita in the middle, and Tragarete Road on the right. That's the Marriott Hotel ahead of you there. So we are on the Audrey Dreyfus Highway, making our way back to Port of Spain and driving along the parallel road to Ariapita Avenue, which is called Wrightson Road. So as I said before, Woodbrook sits between Wrightson Road, Ariapita Avenue, and Tragarete Road. We are now on this road here is those roads. That road has a different side to it. Ouch, that's a big bump there. Let me try to avoid those. So this is Anna Street to the left where we just passed, and all of these streets that we passed feed into Wrightson Road, but of course some of them are blocked off because of traffic management. You don't want to have traffic turning willy-nilly at every angle into Woodbrook. So you'll see some boulders. To the right is the National Flour Mills, where we just passed. Street that is blocked off. So I hope you can get the idea that this is the end of or the first of the three roads. Starting at the end, this is French Street where we passed. This is Wrightson Road proper. You can see Port of Spain ahead of you, marked by the tall buildings. Wrightson Road has a beginning and an end. Some of the holes on this road they're not potholes but manholes, and they're giving us a bit of a hard time. Continue here, and we're going to find our way to Tragarete Road. To our left is the Lara Promenade, and if you look carefully, you would have seen the statue of him making a master stroke. To the left there is Independence Square, which we've covered. Continue along Wrightson Road, and Wrightson Road feeds into the Beetham Highway. We don't want to go onto the Beetham Highway, so we've essentially reached the end of Wrightson Road, and we'll turn off here. Beyond there's the Beetham. These vehicles are here for some event at the Central Bank Auditorium. Eric Williams Financial Complex, which we passed earlier. So we just head up Edward Street because we want to get to Tragarete Road. So we are making our way up Edward Street. Passing the government treasury on the right, high-rise parking both right and left. We pass Queen Street, or Queen Penny Commission Street. This is the other side of the B-Mobile building I mentioned in another video. Nelson Exchange, TSTT, B-Mobile, formerly Cable and Wireless. This is the Police Administration building. All of these are sites that we mentioned earlier. Street at a traffic light, and we continue to Uptown Mall, another high-rise car park to the right. And this is Park Street, and we started our video at the end of Park Street, which fed into Ariapita Avenue. So there's no entry on that side. This is the beginning of said Tragarete Road, but we want to start from the very beginning. So we continue on Edward Street. Crossing Oxford Street. New Road. And we turn off at this point. Top of St. Vincent Street. And this is what Port of Spain looks like on a Sunday evening with zero activity. This is the old Globe Cinema, and we make a right turn here. That is the old Globe Cinema. It's now, I believe, a church, and we are making a right turn from St. Vincent Street onto Tragarete Road. So this is the beginning of Tragarete Road, where most people, there's no activity, real activity here, but we just came to start the drive. On the left is Clark and Batu. That's a well-known funeral home of many years. The Strand Cinema to the right. Not sure what it is now, something called the Lobby, but Strand was one of the bigger cinemas. You went to the Globe, the Strand, the Deluxe. We are taking a little slow drive down Tragarete Road. We see the La Perouse Cemetery on the left. So we're driving all along the wall of the La Perouse Cemetery. And here we are at the top of Cornelio Street and the end of Colville Street, on the left, and Cipriani Boulevard on the right. And we continue along Tragarete Road. So all of Woodbrook fits within Tragarete Road, Ariapita Avenue and Wrightson Road. To the right of us would be Newtown and Maraval Road, which we're approaching on the right, and to the left is French Street. We just passed French Street. This is Tragarete Road. We'll drive the length of Tragarete Road. The Masonic Temple, Freemasons Masonic Temple on the right. That's the top of Murray Street on the left. This building is 1 Alexandra. It goes to Alexandra Street. Carlo Street on the left. And a sneak peek at the Queen's Park Oval on the right. Cricket cricket and more cricket. The top of Louis Street on the left, so you get the picture. This is the boundary, so to speak, for Woodbrook. Woodbrook is a very well-known area. It was traditionally an upper middle class area, residential area, fully with some elaborate Woodbrook houses with a Victorian architectural structure. We've reached the end of Tragarete Road now, and we approach what used to be the Roxy Cinema. It's now Pizza Hut, right next door to Woodbrook, One Woodbrook Place. And we make a turn here, and we're about to enter the popular St. James. This is the name of this road now is the Western Main Road, and this road takes you all the way through St. James up to the Digger Martin Highway. To the right of us is the residence of the Chief of Police, and we are now in St. James. So I was saying that Woodbrook was a very residential area, very highly coveted area to live. To our right would be Long Circular Road, and we'll just stop here at the beginning of this section to finish explain about Woodbrook. So Woodbrook has changed, and it's sort of becoming a mixed area, particularly because of the street life at Ariapita Avenue. More and more companies are buying residential homes and turning them into commercial properties, restructuring them, flattening them and rebuilding them. You have lawyers' offices, doctors' offices, accounting firms, but some of the Woodbrook residents have held on to it, and it's a very organized area in terms of its road network, and that you go up one, you come down one, and it goes up and down until you cover the whole area. And sadly, for those who remain, at carnival time and on some nights it's just so noisy. It creates noise pollution, and it's difficult because people break their beer bottles and leave them there in their drunk stupor. But the homes there, some of them are quite tastefully appointed, even though they may be juxtaposed among commercial properties. But Woodbrook still has the parks and squares where you can play, children can play. There's a lot of green spaces there, and it's a very lovely area to visit. We make our way through St. James via the Western Main Road. Past the famous Smokey and Bunty that was burnt. Smokey and Bunty, believe it or not, has relocated to the avenue. But that was a big name back in the day. Everybody across the region probably knows about Smokey and Bunty. That was the place to line. So St. James was essentially replaced by Ariapita Avenue, but it still has its own nightlife, which we will cover in a subsequent video. Right ahead of us is, we're gonna make a right turn here, but if you look ahead, You can see vehicles continuing along the Western Main Road until they reach the Digger Martin Highway, which we covered in another video. So we'll turn right on George Cabral Street. Once it is safe to do so. This is a recently renovated Catholic church. You find a Catholic church almost at every corner. So the roads to the right feed into St. James. So St. James also has streets that go up and down like Woodbrook, and St. James is another area that has changed from fully residential to a blend of residential and commercial. The George Cabral Street drives right past the cemetery. Western Cemetery. And it's a strange thing that the Woodbrook Cemetery, the St. James Cemetery, are not in the most natural location. What you would think is the Woodbrook Cemetery and the St. James Cemetery. And there's a third. You would not naturally guess because of their locations. For example, one cemetery is at Mukarapo Road, and that is, I believe that one is the St. James Cemetery. So the road here has turned into Patna Street. Just trying to find some landmarks. Patna Street takes us all the way to Long Circular Road, where we passed earlier. In a previous video, we also covered Long Circular Mall. That's to the left, closed because it's Sunday. We return to Long Circular Road, both right and left. So this Long Circular Road takes us right back down to the Western Main Road. And the traffic lights allow us to turn left into Barbados Road, which we discussed exclusively in our Federation Park video. So you can check that out if you're interested. This is a nice angle to see One Woodbrook Place, the 3 luxury high-rise luxury towers. The views from up there on the different buildings are amazing views. They're just amazing. We are left, turn back onto the Western Main Road. To the left is the residence of the Chief of Police. And you can see this is a landmark here. This sign says that you're entering or leaving St. James. Bit of a roundabout here. That's Tragarete Road, which we just came down. And we circle here just so that you can get an overall view of the area. The new Nelson Mandela Park, which was the King George V Park, and we are now on St. Clair Avenue, and ahead of you is the one end of the Queen's Park Oval. Brian Lara can see from his home, and that's the St. Clair Medical Center. So to our left is St. Clair, another very wealthy area, very posh, with the highest type of home. Many embassies are located in there also. Amazing architecture. We continue along St. Clair Avenue, and the roads to the left, as I mentioned, feed into St. Clair. And these are just banks and oil companies to the right. To the left is the playing field of QRC, Queen's Royal College. And then this road takes us onto the Queen's Park Savannah, which we covered earlier, and that road on the right is Maraval Road that takes you back down to Tragarete Road. So we are now on the Queen's Park Savannah. Coconut vendors have these stalls now. They no longer sell at the back of trucks, and they all have these fancy I'm not sure how to call it, carriages that are permanent. Here is the residence of the Archbishop. Whitehall, the Prime Minister's residence, and the last time we drove here we continued along the Savannah, but this time we're going to go through this little passage that has been made through this mass here, and this was built to give access to Lady Chancellor Road, which previously was accessed by vehicles driving very, very dangerously from the highway onto Lady Chancellor. So Lady Chancellor Road, or Chancellor Road, is what we are going to turn into. But we are going to make a sharp left to go on to Brian Lara Drive. That's the name of this road. Brian Lara Drive, and it is so named because this is where Brian Lara lives. So he, being the Prince of Port of Spain, was gifted this land by the government, and he's built a very beautiful home up here. All of these people are exercising up Chancellor Hill. That's a thing to do. So this is Brian Lara's neighbor in front of us, and here is the back gate to Brian Lara's property. Of course, you can't see the house from here, but this is his back gate. Brian Lara Drive. So it's a pity we don't have a facility to rotate our camera, because it really is quite an impressive property and fitting for Brian Lara, one of the most renowned cricketers of all time. This is his main entrance here. Of course, we don't have the code to that gate. That turn is just to show it to you, and we make our way back down to reality. If you could get a photo of Brian Lara's home, you will see how illustrious it is, on par with maybe a small palace in Great Britain. And we're back on to the Queen's Park Savannah. The Botanical Gardens to our left. All of these cars are parked here because people usually go to the Botanical Gardens to have picnics and so on, or just some people get married in there. It's very beautiful grounds, or just to relax and have a meal. This is the entrance, the visitor's entrance to the President's house. That's the house deep to the right of the photo, and this is the office of the President. But we can't get in here, so the gate is opening, but we are not meant to get in there. We don't have an appointment, but it's hard to turn, so we'll just seek to turn right now. So we just turned, and this is the visitors entrance and exit from the President's house, where the President's office is also located on the side. And as we bring this drive to an end, Ariapita Avenue, just come to the natural conclusion on the Queen's Park Savannah. If you look right ahead, you can see those hills that we mentioned in a previous video, Mova feeding into Laventil on the other side. This is the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, Trinidad. Courtesy D&J Drives. Really concentrate on these roads because it's often fraught with some crazy driving, which you couldn't pick up just now on the video, but we just had somewhat of a close call, but we're okay now. Maternity Department, Port of Spain General Hospital to the left, and there's a whole new hospital under construction. Not sure if you picked it up on the camera. But this is the top of Charlotte Street and the entrance to the hospital. So just ahead of you is the new hospital under construction, and we've entered the general hospital. The old building, not sure what they will do with it, but that's it in front of you there. Cones have, I guess because of the construction, you have to turn left. Okay, so that's the end of this drive. The time is 6:08 p.m. and we will end this video by parking in a way that you can get a view of what the Port of Spain General Hospital will be, or the new hospital rather. Signing off from D&J Drives, we say thank you for spending this time with us, and as usual, I'll just explain that this is a little series that we're doing of drives in Trinidad, which will not be a common thing, but anytime we visit other Caribbean islands, we'll seek to cover some of their routes. So thank you for your subscriptions, and please continue to support us. Saying goodbye from D&J Drives at 6:09 p.m. on July 7th, Sunday, July 7th, 2024.